So welcome to my thoughts on the Game Awards for 2021. I'm going to ask you guys to begin with, what did you think of this year's awards? Let me know down below. Did this disappoint you or did this excite you? Did you enjoy this event? Now, as you can see, I have my Doritos and my Mountain Dew here, making fun of the old meme of Geoff Keighley sitting around having these things in the background. And every year I like to bring these up. And you know what's so terrible? I'm on a diet, so I can't even eat or drink this stuff. But I thought I'd make an exception tomorrow. I'm going to play some Halo Infinite and maybe do that just for the fun of it, to be funny. But I just wanted to talk, it's late at night here, about the Game Awards and go through some of the games talked about, some of the awards given, kind of some of my thoughts on it, and just my overall thoughts on the entire thing. I have a bunch of notes, so if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my notes because, okay, we got to start off here. This event was 3 hours and 30 minutes long. Like, I mean, even seeing a 3-hour movie these days is a huge commitment of time. And, okay, I'm going to get into it. I'll be honest with you, I am amazed at what Geoff Keighley has been able to do over the years, what he has built up. I think it's absolutely incredible. And it's an hour of ads just on ads, and that's a big problem. But the overall idea of the Game Awards is a good one. My problem is, I'm just getting my problems out of the way before I go through all the games, is that they go through the Game Awards so quickly. So they'll be like, RPG of the Year, and then all of a sudden it's a huge advertisement, and you're like, okay, and then you're sitting around another huge advertisement. And I got ads on YouTube as well, but could you imagine watching like an hour's worth of ads? Because that's what it was, and it was like, my God, this is exhausting. It's exhausting. I'll be honest, I was writing notes, and near the end, I was like, I've been writing notes for like 3 hours. I'm kind of burning out, but I think the event was way too long. I'm just stating that. Okay, so it starts off with TUNIC and showing King of Fighters 15. I like both those games. I am looking forward to them quite a bit. TUNIC is very much a Zelda style of game, and King of Fighters I've always been a fan of. That gave me some hope. I'm like, okay, cool. Because I'm excited, right? I'm excited about all the game announcements. Breath of the Wild 2 was trending on Twitter. So many things are trending on Twitter. And I'll just get to it, is that we were all waiting for some really big announcements, and there were some, but not what you thought you were going to see. Not what you thought you were going to see. You're getting everything else, and you're like, okay, cool, then we got that out of the way, can we get to the good stuff? And it felt like one of those kinds of nights. And then they showed Persona 4 Arena. That was pretty cool to see. And then Sting came in and did a big musical number. And I was kind of applauding that. I was like, look how far Geoff Keighley has gone. They get Sting on the stage. You know, I'm an old school Police fan. So when I see Sting, I'm like, that's pretty impressive. And it was really cool to see that the production value every year seems to get upped a little more because the ads are bigger and bigger on this thing to have to pay for this event, right? So you kind of expect that. So one of the first awards that they said was Best Indie Game. And is it Kena or Kenna? The Bridge of Spirits won. And let me tell you something. I've kind of seen this game all year, and I thought, wow, this is a really nice looking game. And I was kind of surprised it was an indie game. I'm like, really? Indie games look even this good? I thought it was a really high budgeted game by a big company. So I didn't ever play that game this year. I really would like to. We'll see how if I can get to that come the new year. But that was their winning indie game. And then they showed Star Wars Eclipse, a brand new Star Wars game set in the Old Republic. And that is an exciting thing for me. I like it. I mean, I do like Star Wars games, and set in that time, like I really like, Knights of the Old Republic. I like that kind of era of thing, before all this new Star Wars. We have this old, kind of mythic Star Wars, as I like to think of it as. So that was a bit of a surprise. I didn't see that coming. Best performance went to the woman who played Lady D in Village, Resident Evil Village this year. I applauded that one. I was so happy for her. I thought her performance was absolutely creepy and freaky and perfect for that character. And that character has really come to life and blown off that video game in a whole new way and really captured fandom, even including myself. I think she's really cool, so I was really happy to see her get that award. They showed Alan Wake 2, and I was like, okay, more Alan Wake, and they say it's going to be more survival horror, and I'm like, okay, I like survival horror games, we'll see how that turns out. Okay, Best action game of the year went to Returnal. And you know what's funny? Returnal's on one of my lists this year. It's not what you would expect it to be. To be honest with you, I think Returnal is a very competent action game. I think it's really good. I think in a lot of ways, I don't think it was the action game for me personally this year, but I can see how it can win. It's one of those games, very divisive. Either like it or you don't. It's one of those things, and best action game. And they showed Slitherhead. This is a game by an indie developer, an indie development team out of Japan, one of the creators of the original Silent Hill. So I was like kind of excited about seeing this, and I saw the visuals and I'm like, this is a really weird game. It was kind of giving me like Parasite, the comic manga Parasite vibes from it. Very gothic-y horror and very strange, and I don't know if I wanted to laugh or be scared in there. It was just so strange, so I don't know what that's all about yet. And they did a musical number for Cuphead, which was so good. I really liked that. And then they showed the new trailer for the game coming out in 2022. And my God, the art style was to die for. It was so well done. They did all this live action stuff and then showing the animation itself. It's amazing what they've done with the new Cuphead, and along with Cuphead will come the frustration of that game because it's so hard and frustrating, but so awesome. And they showed a trailer for Sonic Frontiers, the new Sonic game. And I don't know, I'm not like one of those hardcore Sonic guys that's played all the games. I certainly have not over the years. I played the originals and, Sonic Adventure back in the day. So seeing this new trailer, I didn't know what to make of it. Is it going to be good? You tell me down below. Are you excited about this game? Do you have hope for the new Sonic games? Let me know. They showed a trailer by Del Toro for his new movie. I think it's called Nightmare. And the movie looks really cool. I love Del Toro movies. Oh my God, do I ever. But he said something really strange because he was also doing Best Art Direction. He was presenting for that. And he goes, another game that has really good art direction? He goes, is Silent Hill. I'd love to see that return. And I'm like, he didn't just say that, did he? Like, there's got to be a reason for that. He didn't just say it for the hell of it. Is there a reason behind it? Are they working on a Silent Hill game? Isn't that a weird one? Why would he say it when he's presenting for an award? Like, it was just, he had to throw that in, Maybe he's just so moved by Silent Hill. I know he was working on PT and all that back in the day, but is it back on? I don't know. So that was kind of fascinating. And Best Art Direction went to Deathloop, and there's a lot of hype for Deathloop this year. And you know what? I haven't played the game. I have the game. I just haven't gotten around to it. And I'm going to ask you guys once again, because I actually do read the comments, is Deathloop worth the time? Is it a great game? It was winning all these awards, and I'm like, yeah, is this my style of game? I really don't know, but the art style does look very appealing. Now came the Best RPG of the Year award. This is probably one of my favorite awards because I love RPGs and I try to play a lot of them during the year when I can. And we played a few of them this year. And the one that won was Tales of Arise. And how do I feel about that? I feel great. I think it's a game that absolutely deserved to win RPG of the Year. For me, my RPG of the Year was Shin Megami Tensei 5, but right next to it is Tales of Arise, and it is in one of my games of the year. It's an excellent RPG. If you're a disbeliever or you've lost interest in RPGs, give it a try. The art style is really good. Music is really good. I'm not doing a review for it. We already did that this year, but definitely it deserved to win. Now, this one took me back because I did not think that this was a contender to win, and I'm glad it won. Best musical score was Nier Replicant. And a game, again, I played this year, and I talked about how the music was really good. I didn't see it winning, though. It's like one of those games where you don't think it's up there. You believe it is, but everybody else, you don't like, nah, they're not going to put that there on the list. But that's one that made me a bit of a believer, more of a believer in the Game Awards. I'm not fully sold, but my God, it was really nice for that to win. Best Narrative this was a shock to me, but you know what? I've been playing a bit of it, and I kind of get it, because it has a really good little storyline and really good acting in there. Best Narrative for Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, a game that I really feel is a bit underappreciated, and one that I really want to spend a little bit more time with. I've really enjoyed the storyline and some of the humor, and I kind of like that, as say that Marvel cosmic, galaxy stuff. I think it's a lot of fun. Okay, this game really took me back. Suicide Squad. I'm like, what? This is the one game I was like, what? This looks really good. I mean, I really liked the Suicide Squad movie that came out this year, and seeing this new game, it was so kinetic and it was so fast-paced and so fun and a little bit brutal at times, and I'm like, yeah, this is perfect for me. I mean, this is actually took me back a little bit. Best action adventure game. Jeez, what would win that? What should win that? Yes, Metroid Dread won that. Thank God, man. Thank God. It absolutely deserved it. 150%. And I'd stand by that award. And of all things, when I see action adventure game, Metroid Dread is right next to it. It's perfect. So I was very happy to see that award won. Now, for best ongoing game. I had my contenders. I had two contenders. I'm like, it's going to be Fortnite and Final Fantasy XIV. And one of them was correct, for sure. And I thought, because you know the way they go with these awards, it was going to be Fortnite. I'm like, it's going to be Fortnite, but Final Fantasy XIV has been bringing out the content for years. I don't personally play it, but I do see all the content that comes out, and all the players are always so happy with this game, and they keep coming back to it, and it makes sense for it to win. And I was really happy to see a Final Fantasy game, win an award like this. Now we get to Best Game Direction. Deathloop again wins. I mean, this game has been winning so many awards this year. I remember reading some of the Metacritics for this game, and it was like 10 out of 10, and I'm like, that's a bold statement. That's a bold statement. So when I get my Halo out of the way, I'll maybe jump into Deathloop. Best fighting game is Guilty Gear Strive. To be honest with you, for Games of the Year, I actually forgot to put it in, and it deserves to be there because it's a really, really great fighting game. I said that early in the year when I was just playing it casually. I said, this is a really good fighting game, and a really underappreciated fighting game too. So glad to see that win Fighting Game of the Year, but there wasn't that much competition. They showed The Matrix Awakens, and it's a free download. And I just sat, my jaw hit the ground, and I'm like, what? I'm going to go download it after this to see what this is about, because I could not believe the graphics. And they're like, it's free for download. And I'm like, what is this? This came out of nowhere for me. I'm like, what? So I'm going to go download that and see what that's about. That really caught me off guard. Now it came down to the big one, the Opus one. The Game of the Year. What game would it be? What game could it be? Was it going to be Deathloop again? I thought it was going to be. I thought, oh, it's one of those kind of awards where this game is so hot that everybody's going towards that. And then something unexpected happened. Something completely unexpected of a game that I haven't even played. It Takes Two won Game of the Year. I sat there and I was like, what? And then I was kind of mad. I'm like, I didn't play this game. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I kind of thought sometime in January, when things really slow down a bit, that me and Kim would probably play that together. So I think we absolutely will. I mean, what do you guys think of Game of the Year? Like, what do you think of that? Like, that winning It Takes Two? Was it one that you could have even imagined to win? Does it deserve to win? I've heard nothing but great things from players playing it together and thinking it's a really fun game. So surprise at the end for certain. I'll have to see in January what I think about that one, but what blew me away the most, it just ended, and then that was it. And I'm like, what? There's no Final Fantasy 16? There's no Breath of the Wild 2 to show? There was nothing really that I really wanted to see at the end of the day, and I'm like, oh. And was I let down? Yes. I was let down. I thought there were some really highlight moments in here, still little nuggets here spread out throughout, but in the end of the day, 3 hours and 30 minutes. And an hour of that, I swear, was ads. And my problem is that sometimes I don't know what's an ad and what's a new game that they're showing. It just kind of blends in and all of that. And it comes off sometimes as a bit preachy and stuff like that, the Game Awards. And I think you can do this under 2 hours, get some sponsorships or whatever you need to do ahead of time, before and after and in the middle. But then what you do is take your time with the awards. I always feel we're rushing the awards. People are getting up and going, I've only got 10 seconds, and they're freaking out. And, give them some time to talk. Give them their moment. This is their Game of the Year. I also want to say Forza Horizon 5 won Best Racing Game. Yes, it absolutely deserves that. Should it be in there as a Game of the Year as well? Definitely, for certain, and all of that. But You know, it was an interesting watch. I always get so hyped for it every single year, and all of that with all this stuff going on. I always get so hyped for it. And does it live up to my expectations? Absolutely not. But you know what? I watched it. It was a thing I did. I can't take it back. There we go. So what did you guys think of the Game Awards? Let me know down below. So anyways, guys, until next time.